Welcome back. Welcome to more Tsukihime. So yeah, last time we learned that the killings have not stopped. There's actually someone else out here killing people. We think it might be Ark. I don't think so, but Shiki's worried because he's the only other vampire we know. But this also might tell us that Nero isn't the only one we have to worry about. So we'll see. It's possible that there are just other lesser dead apostles out here still. I don't know. Man. We'll see. They could be just remnants of Nero's design or something. But either way, we're gonna find out, man. Let us continue. Saying that aloud, I quickly act on it. I take the knife I used to fight Nero and sneak quietly out of the mansion. Going out into the street, I start to search for Arcuid. Okay. So Shiki is already just like looking for Ark immediately, but I don't. Oh boy, my lungs feel like they're going to burst. I stop running and catch my breath. My body, which was running nonstop until now, wheezes to try to suck in more oxygen. My panting fills the air. This is no good. I can't find her. I ran down the street and to her place, but I still couldn't find her. That Arcuid, she's always around when you don't need her, but when you try to find her... I speak those words selfishly. It's been 4 hours. It's almost midnight, but I still don't see Arcuid anywhere. For some reason I thought optimistically that I'd find her easily once I started looking for her. You're no Mikia. I want to see her, and when we last parted, she said, "See you later." Shit, where did you go, Arcuid? For some reason, I'm getting very annoyed. I keep thinking I'll see her soon, but I don't. Excuse me. This is killing me. I thought we'd see each other again. What is that? It's like I'm in love with her. Uh-huh. But that... Wait. That image we saw. Huh. That's stupid. Forcing a grim smile, I shake that thought from my mind. Why did we see that image? I'll check out the park, and if I don't see her there, I'll go back. Taking a deep breath, I walk to the park. 2 nights ago. Okay, hold up. Is that image possibly something that you see in the Ark route? And since this is technically... I don't know. 2 nights ago, that park where so much happened, the park where I parted with Arcuid. Tsukihime having an iconic park like Fate Stay Night. There's something different about the park. The lampposts are off. The lampposts throughout the park are all turned off. The moonlit park seems more solitary than usual. Is it a power outage? I look around me. Outside the park, the lights are all working. The only lamps not working are within the park itself. Clang. What was that just now? Possibly Ciel? I can hear something. The clamor sounds like it's coming from a fight. I'm curious. There's no basis for this, but this late at night, if there's any sort of trouble going on, I think it has to involve her. Alright. Trying as hard as I can to be silent, I head towards the source of the sound. I can see 2 figures facing off. I bet it's Ark and Ciel. Someone is wearing dark black garments and I can't tell who it is. I can easily tell the other one. White garments and golden hair that can be easily spotted even in just the moonlight. Arcuid! Arcuid is being attacked by this black human shape. That black human shadow is carrying something like a sword, and it isn't something like a simple fight. Sword in hand, it jumps towards Arcuid. Arcuid deflects the blade coming in towards her chest with her hand, and lightly contacts the chest of that black shape. In the next instant, that sword-wielding shape flies through the air like a soccer ball. Thump, roll, roll, roll. Falling down on the brick pathway in the dark, it keeps rolling as if easing the fall. No, to be more accurate, it rolls right toward me. It's dark and I can't tell, but in front of me the shape stops rolling and regains its feet. A sharp, cut-off voice. Fascinated by this display, I let out a breath of admiration. Suddenly, the sword-carrying figure ceases all movement. Actually, I don't know what this thing is. I'm seen? The figure finally seems to realize I'm here. And then it leaps towards me with sword in hand. Eh? The cutting blade of the sword rapidly arcs towards my throat. Arcs. This speed. This flying speed, this accuracy, surpasses that of Nero's beasts. The Shadow's movement is as fast as Arcueid's when she was tearing apart Nero's beasts. The sword pokes lightly in my neck. Thump. My heart accelerates to a feverish pitch. I don't even have time to think of the danger or to evade. My thoughts are filled only with death. The sword doesn't pierce my throat, but stops suddenly. Wait, is it her? Of course. Because, yeah, who else would it be? And, yeah, those swords. I mean, you know. They're projectiles. Tono-kun? Well, I guess the swords as projectiles isn't exactly uncommon in the Nasuverse. Anyway. Senpai? Our voices overlap. Both of our voices are drowned in disbelief. Ciel-senpai and I stare at each other in amazed shock. Shiki, get away from here! Arcueid's voice calls from far away. Oh, that was Arc. Okay. Arcueid dashes towards us. Senpai glares at me with eyes that seem to belong to another person. Like that, she turns around and runs off. Why? Senpai is completely gone. That black figure is Senpai wearing those dark clothes. That person who saved me 2 days ago when I was nearly killed by Nero's crows. But Senpai, she said that wasn't her, so why? Shiki. I suddenly realize Arcueid is in front of me. Arcueid. Are you alright? Did she do anything to you? Just like Senpai before, she looks at me intensely. I don't really have a voice for Arc. I don't know. I think something neutral, but kind of intense. I don't know. But that doesn't matter. Did she do anything to me? I touch my neck that has a sword on it until now. There's a light, sharp pain. The finger that touched my neck is faintly painted red. Senpai's sword has cut my throat only a few millimeters deep. Jeez. My throat. Did I say that wrong? What is going on? Why would Senpai attack me? Why, really, why would she glare at me like that? Isn't it obvious? You saw us trying to kill each other. She is someone who operates in complete secrecy, so she hates for an ordinary person like you to see what was happening. Arcueid says that unbelievable statement. Kill each other? Why? How come, why would you and Senpai do something like that? Lost in pure shock, I can only manage those words. I mean, yeah, because basically it's... Shiki knows nothing about this stuff. Like, he's just learned about vampires existing, like, the whole concept of, like, the Holy Church, or even something like the Mages Association, which apparently are not much of a factor in this world, as far as magecraft goes, but... Yeah. Surprise! In the first place, I didn't come here to ask that. I wanted to ask her, Arcueid, about something, which is why I was out here in the first place. I don't know. I only came to see you, so why are you and Senpai trying to kill each other? Eh? Shiki, you came to see me? Yes. I had something I wanted to talk about, so I was just looking for you. So why did it end up this way? I don't know. My head is just spinning. Please, could you tell me what's going on, Arcueid? Well, I was just simply fighting with that person from the church. It isn't something that concerns you, so just forget about it, Shiki. It does concern me. But first, what do you mean by the church? Here we go. Explain it so I can understand. I should put Church in the Hill on in the background. Arcueid doesn't answer. I probably won't. She mulls it over until she nods. Sure, why not? Since you're that worried, I'll tell you. It really doesn't concern you, though. Do you really want to hear it? Yeah. No matter what it is, I won't mind. Oh? How enthusiastic. I'm actually a little curious about why you came to see me, though. Come on, please hurry. I want to hear about that person. Arcueid looks a little angry. I don't even think about why she would look like that all of a sudden. My throat still hurts. Senpai, Ciel-senpai pointed a sword at me. All I can think about is why Ciel-senpai would do that. Fine, then I'll tell you. The dead apostles are vampires that try the utmost to conceal their existence. In order to live, they must suck the blood of humans, so victims will always appear as long as they exist. I would not expect this song to play now. But there's not too many stories of people being killed by vampires, right? Do you know why that is? Arcueid. I didn't ask about vampires. Sheesh, I'm trying to explain it to you in order, Shiki, so please answer, okay? Look, even when the vampires kill people, they try to hide it from the surrounding society that people like you live in. They seek to hide themselves and try as much as possible using magic and other things to camouflage their victims and make it appear natural. Do you know why? Well, it's because humans aren't stupid. If they find out monsters like that exist where they live, they'd attack them. Even though humans are weak, they do have things like police. If there are such things as vampires, an effort would be made to protect people from them. And people would stop walking around at night like what's going on right now. I think they try to hide themselves because that's inconvenient for them. Huh, that's a perspective. Well, I guess that's true, but police are only a law-enforcing group against humans. We don't consider them at all. But it's correct to say that vampires hide their presence for the sake of self-preservation. I mean, yeah, that is true. Shiki, there is a natural enemy of the vampires. A group of something like professional killers that now have the power balance in their favor. It's true for other transcendent species, but especially for vampires. It is fatal for them to reveal themselves. So yeah. Big reason why they gotta hide. Their church gonna come for your ass. Even if a vampire made a secret kingdom in a village somewhere in the mountains away from all civilization, this natural enemy would definitely notice if victims keep increasing. Vampires exploit the humans in secret for no reason other than self-preservation. The vampires hide their dead victims' bodies not out of fear of human society finding out, but in fear of these natural enemies discovering them. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Their natural enemy? She means someone that fights against vampires. Like Senpai, who is wielding a sword against Arcuid. So, they aren't human either? What are you saying? Their natural enemy is without a doubt you humans. Natural enemies us? Yeah. Starting from a long time ago, humans used many kinds of magic, the occult, magical ceremonies to create an organization and started to eliminate primates other than humans. An organization, The greatest of these is Christianity, the pride of the Vatican, the exorcists. The Catholic Church always viewed non-humans as impurities, but vampires are considered the most dangerous. So it's interesting to hear, like, because I'd always assumed that because I never learned much about what the Holy Church exactly is in terms of like their doctrine and what exactly they believed in. I assumed it was based on Christianity, because you know they even in faith they talk about, you know, the Holy Grail as in relation to that, and you know the crosses, like obviously, but I just never considered. This is like the first time I've heard them mention like Christianity and like Catholicism, you know what I'm saying? Like I figured that was the case, but I think this is the first time they've outright said that. There are many religious groups in the world, but the Catholic Church looks at vampires with more hostility than the rest. You know, it's almost an obsession. They are so insane, I don't even want to mess with them. Arcuid lets out a sigh. You should know what I'm getting at by now. The one who tried to kill you was a member of an elite organization that hunts heretics. This group, the Burial Agency, is part of the church. There you go. They use their own strength rather than law to deal with contradictions to Christianity. These hidden exorcists are more like professional killers. Because yeah, the reason I mentioned I'm surprised at that Ark mentioning Christianity and Catholicism, because you know you don't hear in real life about the church like hunting heretics and stuff. Now obviously, as she says, they're hidden exorcists, so it's like a hidden part of it, but I don't know, part of me always thought it was like a separate thing, if that makes sense. Like a subgroup that wasn't necessarily part of like mainstream religion, but I don't know. Yes. These hidden exorcists are more like professional killers, being the ones which crush contradictions. Their existence is a shadow, and so they do not come out in front of people. They are a section that should not exist within an organization called Christianity, so they kill all those that discover their existence indiscriminately. Welp. There you go, a section that should not exist. That kind of answered my question. That woman, it seems she is now called Ciel, probably came here to hunt down the vampire in this city. There you go. Her sense for the enemy is far better than mine. She says this in an irritated manner. I don't have any words to say. Senpai is some sort of an exorcist who's hunting vampires. I just can't believe that at all. Ever since that time. Just that choice I made on a whim led to all this. Because Senpai has such a gentle good nature. She can't kill. She's not someone that can handle such things, unlike me. That's a lie. That's a lie, Arcuid. Because Senpai is an upperclassman at my school. So why would you say she's some member of the church? Hey now. Shiki, you know her? Arcuid draws near as if telling me she won't allow that. Of course. She's a third year at my school. I've known her since I was a first year. Since I was a first year? Huh? Something's wrong. Come to think of it, how long have I known? There you go. He can't even remember how long he's known her. Like, I don't even know which class she is in. I try and remember, but I don't have any memories of her before that day when I found her mending those splints. Thank you very much, Tono-kun. Because she smiled as she said it. For some reason, I felt like I had always known her. That's kind of sweet. By the way, I'm still in my head just reeling from what happened in the last part. I haven't addressed it yet, but yeah, Ciel is insane. I don't know why she did that. For now, I'm rolling with the idea that it was a quote-unquote dream, but yeah. Don't know about that one, Chief. This can't be true. First of all, the strangest thing is that Senpai was called Ciel like it was natural to be called so, but no one calls her with a different name. She was only called Ciel. How come no one doubted such a name? Yeah, she... Arcuid, about Senpai, about that person, who is she? Didn't I tell you? She's a member of the burial agency. She is a newcomer who entered only 8 years ago, but maybe she has great abilities. Ah, so she's a newcomer. Well, I mean, 8 years in it is considered new, I suppose. But yeah, apparently she's pretty strong. She's an agent already having a seat in the perfect number, the 7th. Ah, the 7th Sacrament Assembly, I assume? I don't get... I might be wrong on that. It might not be the 7th Sacrament Assembly. I just remember that group name from Fate. I don't quite get what Arcuid is saying, but the number 7 certainly is a perfect number. A number isolated from the others. In its solitude, it has nowhere to go. Isolation, isolation. Since it is perfect, the Apocrypha, named with that number, refuses reincarnation. I don't quite get it, but for some reason, those words repeat inside my head. Huh. So Shiki doesn't even know why he's thinking that. But again, a number isolated from the others, in its solitude, it has nowhere to go, isolation. That could be also just talking about Ciel herself. That's right, the members of the burial agency are highly skilled, so I guess it's easy for them to use suggestion against someone who can't even resist. Okay, there you go, she used suggestion. So I was gonna say, either she like pulled strings, or she used like some, but yeah, it was a suggestion. Cool. That woman probably was deceiving you all in order to stay in your high school. Suggestion, like hypnosis? Yes, it can't be a very complex order. She probably used something simple like don't doubt Ciel. Huh. Yeah, that's it. I always felt something was wrong from the beginning, but as soon as I would see her again, those doubts would disappear. Feeling it is natural for her to be there. Wasn't that one of Senpai's characteristics? I understand, but there's still something else. You said Senpai is a member of that burial agency, so why is she fighting you? They only fight bad vampires, right? Well, I don't know if it's a question of bad or good for them, right? So there isn't any need for you two to fight, right? They only fight bad vampires. So even Shiki is like, well, such as those that suck the blood of humans and cast their bodies away. Arcuid, you... What, did I do something? Arcuid looks directly at me. Oh, so now we're wondering if Arc did something and now it's warranting Ciel coming after her. But I don't know, my thought was like, I don't think the church would distinguish good from bad vampire, right? That's... I feel like it's heresy to them regardless, just the existence, because there is potential there, but... I can't think it. I don't want to think that this person would ever suck human blood. First of all, Arc told you earlier, like, She's never even fed on a human, somehow, which is insane. Like, I can't even think of the logistics of that, because it could just be due to the fact that she's a true ancestor, and she has the capacity to not, but still, it's like a characteristic of those of her kind. But that being said, why would she do it now? But I understand. Shiki's like, he's trying to rationalize why they'd be fighting, why Ciel would come after her. And he was already wondering that in the first place with the victim that was had. So yeah, makes sense for him to wonder at least. But the truth is, the incidents are still occurring. Furthermore, Senpai, an exorcist from the church, is trying to kill Arcuid. Arcuid, don't tell me the killing yesterday was your doing. That's why you and Senpai were fighting. I grit my teeth. I speak those heavy, painful words as if confessing love toward a girl I like. Shiki, are you serious? Even I don't want to believe it. But then, who did it? Nero is dead already. So that leaves only you, right? I'm filled with regret as soon as I say those words. I still like her. She saved my life and those 2 days were still a lot of fun. So I don't want to separate with her like this. But if she is the killer vampire, Oh, Shiki, are you considering killing her again if she is? And then smack. My head is hit with the fist. There you go. Shiki, you idiot. Arcuid? I wouldn't normally let it be settled with just this, but since you look so pitiful, I'll let that be enough. Smiling, Arcuid hops back. Dude, her smile is the best thing in this visual novel. I don't actually mean that. It's nice. Shiki, you're a great person. What? Having her say that so suddenly makes my cheeks flush. And in addition, you're so honest. I like those things about you. That's sweet. Arcuid smiles happily. Seeing her like that, I can't imagine her sucking on someone's blood. Arcuid, so... Yes, I'm not the killer. It's the work of some other vampire and not me. Alright, so, confirmed. The knot in my chest disappears. I see, I knew it. Arcuid didn't do those things. I see, it's the work of another vampire. That's a relief. Wait, that's weird. Hold on, Arcuid. You said it's another vampire, but isn't it odd for vampires to come out one after another? What are you saying? There aren't any new vampires. What, but Nero isn't alive anymore. There isn't anyone else that does something like that. Oh, I see. Shiki, you really made a big mistake. Arcuid gives an amazed sigh. Oh? You see? The serial killings you're talking about were always the work of just one vampire from the very beginning. So no new vampires will appear, as Nero was unrelated to those incidents. Bum bum bum. It was never Nero. Damn. What? Eh? Nero is unrelated. So the only... Okay. So the only people... I say the only people, right? But where's the hotel incident? That's the only thing Nero did as far as we know. But he's, I guess, unrelated to the girls being... the girls disappearing. Okay. So that wasn't him. Nero's unrelated? What do you mean? Just like I said. You're normally pretty sharp, but you're lost at some points. Think back, Shiki. Nero was a vampire, but did he ever suck human blood? Right, exactly. He never sucked their blood. He just straight up ate them, right? So, that's the thing. With these incidents... Oh, I should have thought of that. With these incidents, they've always found the victims, you know, with the bite marks, right? And that's why in the media, they're calling it a vampire, right? Because that's the thing. But yeah, Nero never sucked anyone's blood. That's such a big clue. Suck blood? He ate humans and... Oh... I see. Why didn't I notice such a simple mistake? The victims of the serial killings are found with their bodies drained of blood. But Nero was different. He didn't leave any dead bodies behind. He not only drank the blood, but also ate the meat, leaving no trace. To prove it, the people eaten by him in the hotel were treated as missing people, not killed people. So that means it is something completely different. Wait, then what is the serial killing going on right now? Just who is doing it? That's a different vampire than Nero. So, okay. This is a big thing to understand, right? I feel like when I get to the arc route, this is gonna be a big thing that I'm going to now understand that is gonna kind of shape my perception of things, which I think is cool. I think it's cool for me to learn these things and then go a different route where maybe that's not going to be clear or even revealed. But okay, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but yeah, that's crazy. That's so cool. It's a different vampire than Nero. To be more specific, that vampire is why I came here, and Nero came here following me. Okay. So, us, and Shiki mistakenly assumed that Nero was the one that Ark came for, but actually Nero came here to Ark because it makes sense because the serpent tricked out Nero's body and then sent him after Ark. That's the order of this, how this goes. Okay, so who is this vampire then? It's that sort of correlation. What, so the one you're after wasn't Nero after all? Yes, I didn't ever say he was my initial target. I was his target, but he was never my target. My target is the one called the serial killer in this city. What? I gasped in shock. Nero was a side quest in this route, dude. But it really is just as she says. Like legit a mini-boss, come on. She said her purpose is to kill vampires, so I just thought it was Nero she was after. So what is it? Killing Nero that night was pointless? It wasn't pointless, you fought in my place. Well, if you didn't kill me, you probably would have had to in the first place. I feel a little dizzy. In other words, those vampire killings had nothing at all. In other words, those vampire killings had nothing at all to do with Nero and it was the work of another vampire? Yeah, that's right. But that's my problem, so you don't have to worry about it. But more than that, hey. With an extremely happy smile, Arcue looks up at me as I still stand there in surprise. It was last night. Who came? Huh? Oh. I knew it wasn't a dream. What does she mean by last night? I don't understand what she's talking about. After all, I'm the idiot who mistook Arcuede's words and made such a stupid mistake, so of course I don't understand what she is saying and... Huh? Did Arcuede ask me who came last night? Arcuede, what do you mean by last night? That's strange. I know I sent you a dream familiar. Oh. A dream familiar? Wait, what's that dream familiar thing? It's like a familiar that lets you see a dream about what you desire the most. Okay. Alright. Fine. Ciel, I apologize. Except not really, because I didn't actually know, but thank goodness. Because... guys, I was so worried that Ciel was... that I'd have to, like, overlook that up, and I just wouldn't have been able to, like... Let's forget that scene. It's like a familiar that lets you see a dream about what you desire the most. You're a male, so I sent you a succubus. Wasn't it a good dream? First of all, why is this a thing? I've never heard of this. Why is this a thing? That's hilarious. A good dream. That was... So that dream was what Shiki wanted. He wanted that. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but during that scene I was like, if this is a dream, I don't know what's wrong with Shiki. If this is happening, I don't know what's wrong with Ciel. So, I don't know what's wrong with Shiki, I guess. I remember the realistic dream I had and my face turns red. That was your doing? Arcue grins even, and the fact that she did that for him, like, oh my gosh. Crap. If I stayed quiet, this conversation would have been over, but since I reacted so strongly... Ah, so you did get it. So what kind of dream was it? The dream familiar was supposed to take the shape of your greatest desire, so it felt really good, right? What kind of dream? That's... I die before I say it. Arcue, it doesn't concern you, so leave me alone. I look away from her and refuse. But Arcue keeps saying, come on, come on. Come on, over and over. Come on, tell me. You can at least tell me who you dreamed about. Oh, you really don't want to know. She asks like a curious kid. Every time I turn away, she keeps jumping in front of me saying, come on, come on. Please, just let it go. There was something wrong with that dream. Even now that... I don't know why I saw that dream. Arcue says it's my greatest desire, but I don't want to think that's what it was. Oh, maybe it turned into a nightmare? She does tend to write the story to her liking when fond of her target. She's only a novice, so I guess it couldn't be helped. Arcuid thinks aloud. Wait. Oh my goodness. Writes the story to her liking. What do you mean? I'm saying she interprets your desire in her own way. That dream familiar I sent you is just a child, so she likes to play pranks. I see. That's a relief. That's right, that dream, it couldn't have been what I wanted. Okay. First of all, weird as fuck. But I suppose relieving that that wasn't all Shiki's desire, the way it played out. You know what I'm saying? I let out a sigh of relief. With this, my innocence has been proved, but Arcuid, why did you send me such a thing? It's too much even for harassment. Yeah, good question. I wouldn't harass you. I sent you the dream familiar to thank you for defeating Nero. I really am grateful to you, so I thought it would be great if I made you happy. Thank me? Well, I'm happy you were grateful, but no matter what, I'll pass on that sort of thanks. Oh, come on. Are you saying you can't accept a person's goodwill? Hey, you're not a person, you're a vampire, Arcuid. That's true, but ouch, Shiki. Arcuid slumps her shoulders. How do I say this? Arcuid is very open in expressing her emotions. Being happy, being angry, she changes her expression so quickly, it's actually kind of charming. Dude, Arcuid is so charming. I see why people love her. I said she was a vampire, but again, well, it's kind of characteristic of vampires, isn't it? Anyway, she really does seem like a human, enough to even make me forget that fact. She does act very human. Ah, the lampposts are turning back on. The previously dark lampposts spring back to life. The park lit only by the moonlight gradually becomes brighter. It seems that woman lifted her barrier. It was supposed to prevent anyone from entering the park, but it seems like you could pass right through. Ah. Wow, Ciel set up a bounded field? Cool. You mean that power outage was Senpai's doing? Yeah, it's one of their specialties, letting people stay away. It really has nothing to do with us. By the way, Shiki, I want to ask, but what do you think of Ciel? With a cold voice, Arcuid suddenly asks that. About Senpai? Why do you ask about that, Arcuid? Oh, nothing. I just hate that woman. We were supposed to meet and exchange information, but I got irritated during the conversation and we ended up trying to kill each other. Wait, you guys were trying to be cordial about information? They're probably trying to... They probably tried to cooperate to take down whatever vampire that Arcuid is after, but... Because I imagine Ciel is interested in that vampire as well, especially that it's out here just openly killing people, but... Huh. But they got irritated. Kill each other? Why did you end up doing that? In the first place, Senpai isn't a vampire. Why did you try to kill Senpai? That's my line. She was the one who struck first. Eh? The one who struck first was Senpai? That's right. She said I knew it was pointless, I just can't allow your existence, and then she attacked me. She may look very calm, but all the members of the burial agency enjoy fighting. You can't let her fool you too, Shiki. What? Enjoy fighting? Does Senpai really? Shiki, you were fooled by her up to now, right? So why are you saying things to help her out? You know she was tricking you since you didn't know anything and pretended to be a normal person. Don't you feel a little angry at being used? Arcuid glares at me. That is, certainly I'm shocked that Senpai is different from normal people, kind of like Arcuid. But I don't feel like I've been tricked. On the contrary, Senpai has helped me so many times. Even though I know about Senpai's identity now, I still think of her as Senpai. Eating lunch with her, talking about stupid things with her, and Narihiko, walking with her to the school gate, all of it is so much fun. So if I could, it would have been better if I didn't find out about her. Shiki, whose side are you on? Mine or that woman's? Oh, don't do this. I feel pressure. Her eyes are the source. Now she isn't like a human, but more like an animal hunting its prey. It seems Ciel Senpai is an unforgivable enemy for Arcuid. That's why she glares at me with such fierce, hostile eyes. As if saying, if I am her enemy's friend, I will be Arcuid's enemy as well. Arcuid, I have trouble answering. Oh my gosh. Guys, guys. Oh, so thank you all to giving me advice about this. In terms of starting routes, it would just make sense to start from the beginning, like start a new game, and then just skip scenes. Skip scenes that I've seen by enabling that setting rather than reloading saves. Because again, someone also mentioned that might just not work in the first place. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use all the slots continuously. I'll start back at 1. So thank you for letting me know that. But guys, come on. This is Ark's route. I, despite all this, don't even want to think that Senpai is my enemy. Senpai is my dear friend. Enemy or ally, I can't label her like that. What is this? Then what am I to you? You're someone I can't leave alone, and I scratch my cheek. Someone I can't leave alone, and I'm concerned about her in a completely different way than Senpai. Even tonight, I was simply looking for her, but I was getting so frustrated when I couldn't find her. It was something like feeling worried about a loved one. No, there's no way that's true. Certainly she is beautiful, but Look, just give it a rest. Why do you ask me about that anyway? Again, that picture of what I guess is Ark? With long hair in a field for some reason? How can I know? By the way, don't tell me if that's an Ark route. Don't give me any details about anything to come, or let's keep, like, for the future, let's keep discussion about things within things that happen within this part and stuff I've already seen. Just for, like, security's sake. I'd very much appreciate that. Thank you. Being screamed at irrationally, she screams back at me irrationally. Fine. Then I don't know you at all, Shiki. Hey, hold on. Where are you going? It has nothing to do with you. Don't follow me. Is she really that angry? Arcuite walks away without even turning around. Her figure quickly fades into the distance. Just where does she plan on going? What is this, taking it out on me like that? Yeah, she's the one who sent me that dream familiar, so I'm the one who should be angry. Also, I feel a lot more, like, partial to Ciel now. Especially after finding out that Arcuite literally sent a succubus that ended up, like, doing that to Shiki. Not that I have anything against Ark. I love Ark. But, yeah. Again, Ciel's route. Did I do something to make her angry? I don't know. In the first place, there's no way I can understand how vampires think. Arcuite got mad and went somewhere by herself, and I asked her what I wanted, so I know I should go back to the mansion. Does Shiki really not get it after what Ark just told him about the burial agency and their relationship with vampires? Or the fact that they're trying to kill each other? But I don't know. Ultimatums are lame anyway, so it'll be alright, Shiki. But my feet don't even move one step back. My logic tells me where I should go, but my heart doesn't listen. It's been said a million times, but the feelings of love and hate, they have nothing to do with logic. Man, jeez. Damn it. Why is it that I just can't leave Arcuite alone? Arcuite! I said wait! Raising my voice, I chase after Arcuite, who keeps on walking. Surrounded by night, Arcuite walks down the street. She looks straight ahead, her white figure with golden hair fluttering. It bears a horrible resemblance to the first time I saw her. No, or perhaps it's like the time she faced off with Nero. For some reason, I have a bad feeling about this. Hey, Arcuite. Oh god, am I getting into a bad ending? Arcuite continues to walk without turning around. I want to talk to you. You can at least tell me what you're going to do. Of course, Arcuite just continues walking without turning around. It'd be miserable if I left it like this. I decide to follow her silently for now. The footsteps echo through the night air, and then Arcuite suddenly stops and turns around. Don't follow me. Don't you understand it's troubling for a normal person like you to follow me around? I wonder if that's like a big part of her character. Like, that she just sees herself as trouble. She's probably been alone this whole time, and she finds Shiki being, you know, up to this point, you know, very, you know, not that Shiki isn't, he just is siding with Ciel. sighting, quote unquote. But yeah, the fact that Shiki's so kind to her and he's very honest and, you know, shows her that he's a good person, like, she really appreciates. So she's probably not used to that, but yeah, it's probably a thing with her character. So tell me what you're going to do and I'll go back. It doesn't concern you, so leave me alone. Arcuate strides off once more. Crap. It seems like our wordless wandering is going to continue. When we approach the main street, Arcuate freezes. Found it. Ah, I love this song. Eh? Her voice is cold like a totally different person's. Ah. A chill runs up my spine. Even from behind, I can feel the hostility manifesting itself in her. Arcuate, what are you? I can't even finish. It's clear what she intends to do without saying anything. Whoa. Without a doubt, there's nothing but the pure, unadulterated intent to kill. Hey, what are you thinking? Arcuate doesn't answer. Her eyes are fixed solely on a man in a business suit walking by. Shiki, take off your glasses and look at that person. Oh wait, did she find the vampire? That person, you mean that businessman? Hurry. If you want to know what I'm doing, then leave the questions for later. Alright. I don't like to look while in town, but I take off my glasses. Gah. Instantly, a light headache springs forth. In exchange for the pain, I can see lines running all along the walls and the ground. Another question, Shiki. You only see points on living things, right? Eh? Yeah, that seems to be true. Things like buildings only have lines. I saw them back during the time in that hotel, but at the cost of a headache that almost caused me to pass out. Right, since you are a living being, you can't comprehend the death of inanimate objects. So in order to see the death of inanimate objects, you must first connect to a circuit of the same orientation as them. To see, you have to comprehend them first. So that really reminds me of a Kara no Kyokai movie. What movie was it? It was movie 4, when they showed the origin of Ryogi in the hospital, and you know, the same way she awakened her mystic eyes. But at the very end of that, whenever she was having trouble killing that one dead person, because yeah, she couldn't kill them, you know, with the lines and you know, with using her eyes, because she couldn't comprehend the depth of it. And when she could, she was finally able to. So yeah, that reminds me of that. Again, it's been a long time since I've seen the Kara no Kyokai movie, so forgive me if I'm misremembering, but yeah. That's really cool that idea is like consistent within both works, because that's pretty important. And another question. Shiki, how does that person look to you? It'll just be the same as always. Without thinking, I step backwards. What is that? Certainly all humans have lines on them, but they only have countable amounts, and they also look like geometric patterns. But what is that? There are lines running all through him. Those lines are all over him like blood vessels, so much that I can't even make out his appearance. Gah, that's actually a gnarly visual. I want to puke. Those black lines, scribbles making a human shape everywhere throughout it. I can see black points that look like they are flowing blood. Shiki, how does it look? I was hoping it would look normal to you. I can't answer. Right now it takes all my strength just not to vomit. I see. How unfortunate that you can even see death on that thing. Yeah, it's not normal, but I can still see the lines. I knew it. You can even kill the dead. The fact that they don't have any life has no meaning for you. Something that moves, something that breaks, you can stop it completely without exception. You're more of a monster, Shiki. Whoa, that's so crazy. Wow, so Shiki already, I guess, comprehends it? Or the fact that he doesn't see it as like a limitation? Because again, you have to, you know, that whole thing. This stuff is tough for me to like vocalize, but I think I understand it. Eh? As you saw, you can't call that thing human anymore. It's a vampire that deceives death by sucking the blood of other people. Arcuate quickens her steps. She walks straight towards the man. Hey, Arcuate. Stay there, Shiki. Did that young man realize Arcuid was there? He starts running towards a back alley. Arcuid strides silently. Underneath the moonlight, she disappears into that alley. Yo. Thump. The sound of my heartbeat is awfully close. It's not even real late at night. Even though I'm in the midst of a bustling shopping district, I can't sense anyone besides myself. Thump. My glasses. I have to put on my glasses. If I don't do that, I'll see terrible things. I'll see something so terrible that everything I've seen so far would be nothing in comparison to it. Thump. But my body won't move. My eyes that can see this patchwork world look towards that alley in fascination. Suddenly, sounds vanish. And the presence of other people. The sound of the wind and the smell of the dirt. All of it freezes. Yeah, under the frozen moon, a bizarre noise sounds from the other side of the wall. Go. No way I can see it. I can't hear anything. A sickening sound. But I can see it. My eyes definitely see the sound of death and death crashing. Wait. Hold up. So yeah, Arcuid. Okay, why did I just have this thought? Arcuid is a vampire that hunts other vampires. She said she's never fed on a human. Does Arc feed on vampires? Gah. My vision turns crimson. Why do my eyes see death? Something that shouldn't be able to be seen. My glasses. I have to put on my glasses or I'll go insane. I hold back the rising gorge in my throat and use my shaking hand to put on my glasses. Sound and light return. Now that I'm calm, I glance around and see nothing out of the ordinary in the shopping district. The bustling of many people passing by. The brightness of a store's decorated show window and the sound of rushing car engines. I'm panting excessively. I can hardly breathe. Even though I put my glasses back on, I can still feel a lingering remnant of that death and it makes me sick. Arcuid comes out of the alley. There isn't even a trace of her previous hostility and she seems to be in a good mood. Arcuid? Huh? Oh, I see. I guess you really did stay here. Stay here, you. I can't go home after seeing something like that. Huh? What's wrong, Shiki? You don't look very lively. Don't worry about it, it's just my anemia. More importantly, Arcuid, what was that all about? I look at Arcuid as I grab her arms. Shiki, what are you doing all of a sudden? If you're hurt, I can take you to your house. No thanks, I'm fine, so tell me, what was that person? You've shown me this much, so if you say this has nothing to do with me, I'll punch you, Arcuid. I approach her, ignoring the fact I can barely breathe. Arcuid's expression instantly turns serious, but I have no intention of backing down. After a brief stir-off, she gives me a sigh. Fine, you're awfully persistent, Shiki. Well, forgive me for being so persistent. Idiot, that was a compliment. Then shall we go somewhere else to talk? Somewhere else? Why? You want me to tell you about it, right? So not here, let's go back to the park. Shiki, can you walk? Oh, don't make fun of me. This anemia is just an everyday thing. Aw, Arcuid says regretfully as she smiles and starts to walk. Cause yeah, that guy was quote unquote the dead, right? Cause I know with when Shiki killed Nero, like he was able to see his ultimate point. And he saw many points, which I think was just all the concept of the 666 beats, like just swimming within Nero. Like they all had a death and he was able to kill them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what Ark is about to tell him. I walk behind her and resist the urge to pass out. Cause Ark was surprised at the fact that Shiki could see the death of that guy. But, you know, so that guy wasn't a vampire, he was the dead. Okay. What as you wish, Shiki, let's talk about anything. If you want to ask something, feel free. Then I'll ask you, but just what was that guy earlier? You said he was a vampire, was he what you were after? No, he certainly is part of my target, but putting the dead back into the grave isn't my goal. I only got him because he was a minion of my enemy. Ah, okay, so I left him alone, he would kill more people to increase his power. Arcuid, could you explain it so I can understand? I don't even know if that guy was even human or not. Oh, I guess I never really did explain to you in detail about vampires. Nero was sort of an aberration amongst the vampire race, so I didn't really need to explain it at that time. What is a normal vampire then? What I mean is what you all think of vampires. Immortal, never aging, sucking human blood, turning that human into a vampire, being destroyed by sunlight, all of that. My enemy is that old type of vampire. So you mean this enemy of yours is the one behind all the recent serial killings? I suppose, but the killing of all those people by sucking their blood might be the work of the dead, like the one you saw earlier. Shiki, you remember how Nero's body was made of all those familiars, right? Yeah, that's not exactly something I can easily forget. The dead are like that. When humans have their blood sucked by a vampire, they can also receive some of the vampire's blood. They die, but remain in this world as a servant of the vampire. Okay, so that's the part I was missing. That's what I needed explained. Okay. And that's the distinction of, like, referring to them as the dead. Like, the victims of the vampires. They give them some of their blood. I didn't know that. They are called the dead, and they are like the vampire's familiars. Maybe it's easier to understand if I use the word zombie, so, okay. It's closer to the voodoo belief in Haiti, where the white serpent god Dambala is invoked to control a dead body, but let's just say a dead body that moves is a zombie, okay? Yeah, I can visualize it better that way, so okay. That makes sense. So this would be equivalent to, like, or sort of to, like, the dead I saw in Fate Zero, right? Like on the island. Because, you know, Carrie's dad was doing research on the dead apostles, right? So it was that, that same concept, I suppose. I get it. So that man was killed by a vampire who uses him as a zombie? Yes, Arcueid nods happily. Still confused though. Why would a vampire do that? Killing people, not letting them die, but controlling them, what bad taste. You're right, those vampires do have bad taste. But that's something only the dead apostles do. Those that were always vampires from the very beginning do not do such things. And that is the difference between dead apostles and true ancestors. Always vampires from the very beginning. I remember, you said there's two types of vampires, those who were vampires originally and those who were humans. When I heard that before, it kind of stuck in my head. I thought it was a little odd. So what exactly do you mean by those who weren't originally vampires? Simple, I'm just saying that dead apostles used to be humans. They either gained immortality through magic or became servants of the true ancestors that sucked their blood. Shiki, you said it was bad taste to use killed humans, but that's just the least of it. Oh boy, there are other vampires who think up worse games. A game? What is that? You guys kill for fun and use their dead bodies as toys? I won't deny that. For vampires, amusement is the same as breathing. For those who were once human but gained imperfect immortality, their greatest enemy is boredom. They didn't have a reason to become immortal to start with, so once they gained immortality, they lost all kinds of greed. Their goal was immortality itself, so I guess that's just the way things are. They're bored so they want to play? Don't be ridiculous. Isn't it enough that they won't age or die? Do they really need anything else? That's what I said, they got everything they wanted. After that, there's no meaning to existence. As soon as someone realizes they have no value, that their life is stopped, then their meaning of existence disappears too. Immortality is also another word for death. That's very true. That's, yeah. So they started to wear down and they started to create their own amusement, as if to tell themselves they could have fun as long as they lived. That's their beginning. They copy humans and see themselves in the game as lords of a castle expanding their territory. I guess you could call it a country of the dead. It seems they got more enjoyment out of that than they expected. She speaks as if she was talking of other people. Arcueid should be one of those, but she certainly doesn't seem like she has that sort of hobby. Well, we'll change the topic, but the dead apostles were originally human. There are a few cases where they became vampires through their own magical research, but the majority of them were humans who had their blood sucked. So, okay. So that actually... Yeah, a few cases where they became vampires through their own magical research. So that would be the equivalent of what Carrie's dad did, right? Because that was his magical research and that went awry and the whole island turned into the dead. Yeah. They are mortal, but they can't last forever. They can only be immortal if they drink the blood of others. Didn't I say their immortality was imperfect? If they can't feed on humans, then their immortality is gone. But if they openly fed on humans, then the existence of vampires would be revealed. Even if they don't, just by being there, they distort the world around them. That would attract the attention of agents of the church, like Ciel. So you mean that vampires can't do what they want? Yes, if they break their agreement with the church and move about freely, they would be immediately discovered and annihilated. Ah, so there's a little bit of a agreement there, okay. So the majority of the dead apostles make subordinates that can bring them blood as they sleep. Sucking blood and giving the dead bodies some blood of their own, they create their minions who do their work for them. We simply call those the dead. So what you killed before was kind of like a soldier for the dead apostles. Not so much a soldier as a puppet. The dead apostles control the dead bodies by skipping the process of becoming a vampire. The dead are completely connected to their parent vampire. In order for them to survive, they attack others to eat their flesh, but more than half of that energy goes to their master. Like a queen bee nourished by the worker bees, the dead apostles can use the dead to increase their power while they sleep. My enemy can't be found easily because he's using a lot of the dead. He only dirties his hands once. After that, he simply controls the dead while he sleeps and expands his territory. They say many bodies are found in the recent supposed serial killings, but those are actually just failures. To tell the truth, there are over 100 victims in this city. Wow, they just don't know. But only a small amount, the ones discovered, are the victims in the news. What? Over 100? There are that many that had their blood sucked? And all those people sucked the blood of others to make them into monsters like themselves, like that wandering lifeless thing earlier. That's ridiculous. 3 days ago, I remember how all those people in the hotel were killed for no reason. I was there, but I didn't see it, so I can only visualize and can't really tell what kind of violence it was. Still the same. I can't fathom the existence of vampires that suck human blood just to increase their own territory. Just without reason, without even recognition. If someone close to me died like that, how would I act? I don't want to imagine it, but for a brief instant, I imagine Akiha being drained of blood and discarded like trash. That better not be foreshadowing. What makes me mad is that this worst case scenario could happen at any minute in this town, and I didn't even have a clue about it before. Huh. Always gonna say "kuh," and I think that happened earlier too. I knew you would be angry, Shiki. I didn't want to talk about it because for the prey for you guys, this is an unexcusable evil. I think imagining such things would make Shiki go into a certain state of wanting to kill. I think is what that is implying. Or maybe not. I didn't want to talk about it because, okay, yeah. This is not something you want to hear, is it? That's right. After hearing this, I don't know what to do now. That's right. There's no way I can live in peace like I did until now, knowing that someone I know may become a victim tomorrow. Since I found out about it, I have to fight this vampire just like I did Nero. Here we go. Now we got the goal for the rest of the route. Such a fight. Do I have to fight again like that when it almost makes me go insane? Oh, Shiki, you're making that face again. You can relax. Even though the avowed enemies of the vampires do not have a presence in this country, I'm still here. Didn't I say earlier my purpose was to execute vampires? I don't know where that heavy atmosphere went because Arcuate instantly becomes cheerful. Yeah, I remember. But you're a vampire too, right? Why do you side with us humans? I don't think it's about that. I'm not really siding with you humans, but I'm doing it because I don't have anything else to do. Wait, she's just doing that because she wants to? What the fuck? Yeah, speaking of the amusement and the boredom, right? She doesn't have anything else to do. I still don't understand her. Well, doing that does bring the dead apostles after me, but you beat Nero who was pursuing me, didn't you, Shiki? So now I can go back to the original plan and defeat my enemy. You can go back to living your normal life now, and you don't have to associate with me anymore. She smiles as if she is happy about something. Shiki, why are you making that troubled face again? Because I'm troubled. This is something that involves the city I live in. I said you shouldn't worry. In 2 or 3 days it'll be all over, so there won't be any more victims. Is that a kind of a meta thing? In 2 or 3 days it'll be all over? Is that how much is left in this route? Yeah, honestly, I don't want to be involved. But saying that line, shouldn't I, the one actually living in the city, say that line instead of Arcuid? Arcuid, can I ask a question? This enemy you speak of, is he strong? Well, he should be many times superior to the dead earlier. I haven't met him this time, but he has been latent for 8 years, so maybe he's a class 5 by now. Eight years ago was when Shiki had his accident. 8 years ago, Shiki was in the hospital. Is this the same vampire that fucked shit up back then? Is that the same vampire that did the stuff in the very beginning? Like the very first part of this visual novel. Like, I'm thinking back now, it sounds like reflecting, it sounds like either a dead apostle or a vampire was going, like, just murdering so much. And it was like at the Tono mansion. Shiki might be more acquainted with him than we know. Or her. Yeah. Ark also mentioned that Ciel joined the burial agency 8 years ago. So yeah, 8 years ago. A very important time for multiple characters, it seems. Class 5? I don't get it, but does that mean he's stronger than Nero? Not a chance. Nero was special. He was a pure supreme vampire that would be difficult to defeat even with my full power. Compared to him, this enemy is pretty weak. Oh, then there's no way you'll be defeated. I breathe out in relief. Who knows? A few days earlier and he wouldn't be a problem, but now I'm just recovering. The possibility that he has more power is actually high. Recovering? Are you sick or something, Arcuid? Yeah, I still have the effects from when you killed me, and I don't think I'll be fine for at least a few more days. Ah, that's right. The reason why Arcuid is weak, it isn't anyone's fault but mine. But it's okay. I'll defeat him for sure, even if it kills me, so you don't need to worry about this city. She really doesn't want to burden Shiki. Idiot, the one I'm worried about is you. Eh? Why are you worried about me, Shiki? Her eyes display true confusion. Well, of course I'm worried. I was relieved to hear that this enemy was weaker than Nero, because I thought there would be no chance of Arcuid being defeated. Arcuid, I don't even want to imagine Arcuid getting hurt. It really is weird. Why can I not leave her alone? Certainly I have the responsibility to bear for killing her. I also feel guilty that she is weak right now because of that. But even if that wasn't the case, I still couldn't leave her alone. I thought about it before too, but as expected, this might have nothing to do with logic. More than the fear that I may even die, the emotion that I want to help Arcuid is much stronger. About what we talked about before, Arcuid. About what? You know, about whether I was Senpai's or your ally. Wait, please hear me out. You know, you certainly don't have any common sense. You're selfish and you're hard to handle. Look, that's right. Arcuid looks at me with a sour expression. Ignoring it, I let my true feelings out. But, well, it really isn't boring when I'm with you. I like you. So, can I see it out until you defeat this enemy? What I mean to say is that I won't be Senpai's ally, but yours. I steal a glance at Arcuid's face. Really? Looking very surprised, she hesitantly returns my gaze. Well, yeah. Even I think there's something wrong with me, but I'm already a part of this. And I just can't overlook the problems going on in the city I live in. So you mean... Yeah. You're still weak and you say you need my power, I'll work with you. I might be just a burden, but... Yeah. If you help me, there's nothing we can't do. Her face beams brilliantly and she seems extremely happy. But is it okay? Shiki, you may have to face death again. I'm ready. And I think that's why I have these eyes to begin with. When I was a child, someone told me this. That if I have the power others do not, I should do things that others cannot. I think this is that kind of thing. Oh? I don't really know your circumstances. But that sounds good. Arcuid is in an extremely good mood. I love that sprite. That sprite is amazing. And being with her puts me in a good mood as well. But what do we do now? You want to search for more of the dead like before? Yeah, I think that's all we can do for now. The one before was the 12th, so I don't think there's many more. Okay. I was told that, alright. I was feeling like this before, but then we got a lot with Ciel, and I stopped wondering. But am I actually in Ark's route? I'm honestly confused at this point. I honestly don't know. Like, it's fine. Either way works. But I'm putting Ciel's route in the title, and I don't want to be, like, misleading. I don't actually know. I honestly can't tell. The parent vampire will have to come out once they are all destroyed, so we have to hunt the remaining ones for now. Is that still okay? She asks. Anything is fine. I'm just with you. If you lead, then I'll follow. Well, shall we start again? No, that's good for tonight. They usually follow a fixed route, and the other dead will probably not be out tonight. Since they are fewer in number, I don't think he'll let them all come out at once. Oh, really? But doesn't that mean this enemy will try to hide the dead from you, Arcuid? Basically. But since this enemy is a vampire, he needs to steal the blood and energy of others. So even though he knows I'm searching for them, he has to send the dead out to get the minimal blood he needs. And the minimal dead he sent out was that man from before, huh? So searching further tonight will be useless, I think. Well, I don't mind. It's tedious, though. Yeah, hunting vampires is tedious work. We have to find the coffin of this enemy somewhere in the city, so it won't be easy. I wonder if it's someone we know. Arcuid lets go of my hand and jumps back softly. Arcuid? Let's say goodbye for tonight. We'll meet tomorrow. With her dance-like steps, she watches me as she gets farther away. Tomorrow. Wait, where should we meet? Here's fine. The time, yeah, around 10 o'clock should be fine. With a smile, she makes that promise. Good night, Shiki. I'll see you here tomorrow. And waving her hand, Arcuid disappears. God, I love her so much. I get back to the mansion. It's about 1:30 in the morning. The mansion is completely dark. This can't be good. I put my hand on the mansion gate. Jeez, at 1:30, huh? Yeah, you are super late. Ka-chang. A sturdy chain holds it closed. Dang, I shouldn't cut this. I think a bit. Then I decide to climb over the gate. I mean, yeah, you could cut it if you wanted to. But yeah, might as well climb it. I'm exhausted. After sneaking over the wall like a thief, I quietly make my way to the doorway. The gate was locked, but the door isn't. It must have been Hisui. I give a sigh of thanks. So as not to wake Akihiko Hakusan or Hisui, I sneak my way through the mansion. Yeah, we also learned a little bit about Hisui last time, that she's sensitive, which is cool. Again, I'm sure her and Kohaku have gone through terrible stuff, as is common with characters written by Nasu. Letting out a breath, I lay down on my bed. Cause yeah, we went out earlier in the evening, and so maybe we might be in the clear. Especially because Hisui threw us a bone, leaving the door unlocked. Letting out a breath, I lay down on my bed. My promise to Arcuid. Maybe it's fate. Not really. But you've gotten yourself tangled up in trouble again, Tonoshiki. Could I help it? I just can't leave her alone. Or maybe I didn't want to leave her alone. Well, I do like Arcuid. But is that love? Don't even know my feelings. At any rate, it looks like I'll be helping Arcuid once again starting tomorrow. So for now, I shouldn't think of anything else but getting a good night's sleep. Like, deadass, ever since someone told me that I'm actually in Ark's route, and then someone disagreed with them, and then I wasn't sure, I'm like, I don't even know whose route I'm in anymore. I can't sleep. If I close my eyes, so many things come to mind. About Arcuid. About this vampire lurking the streets. About the black-clothed senpai. I can't sleep. At times like this, reading is good. I know there was a book I was reading before. The first feeling was rather one of pity. Not anger, not despair. Just, I thought everything before my eyes was pitiful. Of course, the most pitiful thing is myself. Life which breaks down without limit. Daily life which fades without limit. Time which is forgotten without limit. Everyone only falls. And yet everyone still struggles desperately to continue existing. And when they judge that it is not possible, they continue to reproduce. continuing to reproduce. In the end, even that dies, but there is no recompensation. Remix. Of course, it is not those who die who are not recompensated. Excuse me. I don't know why. Because I'm thinking of like recompense and recompensated. Like, I don't know why. We had no hope to begin with. What is not recompensated are the attempts, the noble wish, the yearning for eternity, which everyone longs for yet cannot achieve. I have no interest whatsoever in the things that break down. If I could see death and understand it, maybe I'll take a bit of an interest. If I could see death and understand it. A repetition nearly impossible to measure, yet this wish repeats itself. I thought to replace this almost comical cycle of wishes with one pure thing. There's no need to state the method. A wish becomes a result after it is granted. I live solely for that reason. It could not be termed conviction. Just the first word I learned happened to be eternity. So this is the setting we saw earlier with what I assumed was Nero and the serpent. So I assume this is the same. Oh? So you intend to get the eternity closest to you? Of course not. They are only a species that age slower and die harder. I am becoming one of them only because this body has reached its limit. If I am to go farther on, it will take time in this body. It's ironic that you, the one that goes after eternity, hurries with things. Do you plan on leaving here tomorrow? I'll leave the burial agency to you. In the first place, there is only one empty seat for the priesthood. I used up all my father's inheritance getting this far, so it is about time I quit. Huh. Well, that's fine. So you are going to complete your magic theory. I have no intention of leaving here, and I can't live with you. Well, fortunately, I am a woman. Oh. I'll quickly bear a child and tell it all about you. Oh? What will you tell it, Narbarek? Narbarek? Let's see. I'll tell it something like, after around 100 years, another newcomer dead apostle will appear. It is pointless to take notice of him, so ignore him. No, you wouldn't need to wait 100 years. Just like here, I will rise quickly to the top. This body will become the most superior vampire, so 10 years will be enough. How foolish. Even if it is you, you would need at least 100 years if you start over from the dead. Your world's intensity is nowhere as nice as ours. Using direct methods, then you would be right. But if I become the strongest vampire from the very beginning, their world's rules will not apply to me. What do you mean by that? It is simple. As a priest of the church, you certainly know that dead apostles' powers are affected by the true ancestor that sucked their blood. Therefore, the solution is very simple. If I wish to become the strongest dead apostle, this blood of mine, it must be sucked by the strongest of the true ancestors. AKA by Ark, possibly? I don't know if Ark is the strongest of the true ancestors, but I would think so. I don't know. Why would I assume that? Oh, that was interesting. I like these little asides we're getting with that. So, Narbarek is a woman, apparently, that... Or at least, I don't know. Maybe she was talking to Narbarek. I can't scroll back, but yeah. Very interesting. Huh. I would assume they are talking about Ark, especially if, you know, I assume it was the serpent and then Narbarek talking, so it's hard to tell without the quotations, but even with them, it's sometimes hard to tell. But yeah, very interesting conversation. It seems, they're leaving, and they want to rise the ranks of the dead to, I guess, to continue existing using this method, and they want to be the strongest, they want to reach the highest, and I guess the way they're going to do that practically is by getting their blood sucked by a true ancestor, so we'll see about that. I'm watching a dream, a vague dream without any particular significance. Do I like her? I don't know my true feelings, but I can't deny the reality that I'm always concerned about her. Do I like her? I don't know. It's just that when I was completely lost within myself, she helped me. If she wasn't there, I may have just died under the pouring rain. So cool. I don't know. That's why I have to ask. Why she is doing this. Why her eyes are so devoid of any emotion. Shiki-sama. I can hear Hisui's voice mingling with the morning light. Shiki-sama, it is time. Please wake up. Her inflectionless voice awakens me. As soon as I wake up, terrible things enter my vision. I get a headache like I was just shot in the head. I almost lose my just awakened consciousness. Before I fade away completely, I quickly grab my glasses. Wait, were the lines not on Hisui? Oh, they totally were, right? Yeah, they totally were. Shiki-sama? Are you not feeling well? No, that's not it. It's just my anemia acting up. Lightly shaking my head, I clear my head of what I was seeing. More than that, good morning, Hisui. Thanks for waking me up. Sitting up in bed, I do my best to smile naturally. No, this is my duty. There is no need for you to thank me, Shiki-sama. Maybe, but I am grateful. You are infinitely better than an alarm clock. Alarm clocks are degenerate. That's a quote. I stand up. It's not yet 7 o'clock, about 10 minutes earlier than I usually get up. Breakfast? I'll be there soon, so please go ahead of me. Shiki-sama, about that, Akiya-sama is waiting for you in the sitting room. Oh, great, fantastic. It seems she has some questions for you. Hisui says this with some difficulty. Some things she needs to ask. Is she in a bad mood? Yes. Akiya-sama seems to have realized that you left late last night, Shiki-sama. Hisui tried her best to cover for us, leaving the door and all, but yeah. I blurt that out without thinking. Last night I went to look for Arcueid and came home late. Uh-oh, I thought no one noticed. Yes, I also thought that I was the only one who noticed. Hisui answers solemnly. Hisui, you realized I left? Dude, you're the one who even said that she's probably the one who left it open. Oh. Hisui looks very apologetic. I see, you knew. No wonder the mansion's entrance was open. Yes. Hisui answers reluctantly. Thanks, it was a big help. And thanks for going out of your way to do that. But Nessan realized too because of that. Nessan and I have 2-hour shifts watching the mansion. She found out about me unlocking the entrance. I see now. Waku-san is Akiya's servant, so she would have leaked it to Akiya about last night. That snitch! Hisui, there is no need to apologize. It was my fault that I was walking around at night, so I should take the blame. So very happy that you left your door unlocked. Left the door unlocked. Yeah, that was very nice of her. Hisui just looks at me. It is nothing. As soon as you change, please go to the sitting room. Still looking like she wants to say something, Hisui exits into the hallway. Dang, I'm going to get scolded by Akiya again. I mutter to myself as I change. If I have time for that, there's still something important I have to do instead. That's right, I have to talk to Senpai. Okay, so I'm glad that... So again, I'm pretty sure I'm on the Ciel route. I don't see why I wouldn't be. It's just like it was brought up to me that I might not be, and I've been paranoid about that, but... Yeah, so that whole sequence of like, do I love her, and then thinking of Arc, and then the do I love her, and thinking of Ciel, that's an interesting dynamic for a route. Because, I don't know. I want to say that was never a thing in Fate Stay Night, but I don't know. Shiro has always recognized the fact that he was attracted to Tosaka, even when not in her routes, and, you know, attracted to Saber in certain situations. So yeah, I mean... You know, and considering the routes, we know the possibility is there. So yeah, it is kind of the same. Except that it's like a plot point now. It's like a whose side am I on? Because they're in contention, so. I get the headache again. It faded when I was talking to Hisui, but as soon as she left, it started hurting again. Ah, crap, this doesn't look like it will end soon. I bear the pain as I collapse on the bed. It doesn't ease up. Throb, throb. A pain like I'm being stabbed in the head. It makes me completely forget what I was thinking about earlier. Come to think of it, in the 8 years since that accident, again, 8 years ago, that vampire that Ark is after, it has to be him that is responsible for that. I've always had to deal with my broken body. Dizziness, headaches, and anemia occurring unexpectedly. I can't count how many things I had to give up because of that. The doctor said it was a miracle just surviving it. Just being able to live is a miracle, so putting up with various pains is perhaps necessary. These broken eyes. Sensei, who was able to alleviate these eyes, told me to treat that miracle very importantly. Those words. Did she mean that human life is not so much precious as it is not returnable, so I should treat it carefully? These past few days I've seen the deaths of many people. Too easily. Lives ending so easily it's almost comical. If it is something that ends so easily, doesn't it mean that it was only worth that much from the beginning? Oh, Shiki. If that's the case, it is meaningless to view life as precious. Huh? Why, since when did you start thinking like that? Yeah. The headache finally stops. Maybe I saw too much blood. What a horrible thought. I take a deep breath. Thankfully, thoughts are just thoughts. Like, that's kind of just an important thing in general. Like, just because you think something doesn't mean it's true, right? It's like, it's whether you give attention to that thought or you act on it. Then it's when it becomes true, right? Like, thoughts are whatever. But in Shiki's case, this is kind of a big thing. Filling my lungs with fresh air, I clear away the unpleasantness. I should hurry up and go to school. I should go and see Ciel senpai. Enduring the slight pain lingering in my head, I leave my room. I go down the stairs and into the lobby. Next to me is the hallway that goes down towards the sitting room. In front of me is the front door that leads outside. What should I do? Akiya is waiting in the sitting room, but I want to hurry up and see senpai. I think it's important I have this conversation. Because I would have went, but it said more than that I should go to school. I mean, granted, I'm sure he would have went to see Ciel anyway, but yeah, but still, I can't ignore Akiha and go right to school. I gotta at least talk to her. I want to find out about senpai right away, but first I should explain to Akiha about last night. Akiha is the only one in the sitting room. Kohaku-san is in the kitchen humming away. Akiha doesn't say anything when she sees me and sips her tea quietly. Good morning, Akiha. Resisting the urge to go to school, I greet her as naturally as possible. Akiha's eyebrow twitches as she places her teacup down and slowly looks at me. Alright. Let me have it. Good morning, Nissan. It was quite late when you came home last night, wasn't it? No, not really. It was almost a little past 1 o'clock. Just a little bit. Quite normal for a healthy young man in high school to be up, right? I see. My bedtime is also past midnight, so I was up at that time. But I would come home much earlier than that. Yeah, even I was home earlier, wasn't I? I just had something to do, so I was out for a little bit. Without permission? You acted like you were out doing something you felt guilty over. Her stare is pure ice. This is the second time, and I'm sure even though Akiha looks calm, she is quite angry. Nissan, I don't know what went on at the Arima house, but there the curfew is 8 o'clock. It is a rule that must not be broken. Oh, but here the curfew is 8 o'clock. The gate will be locked after that, so please don't climb in like a robber. Oh, you knew. The surveillance camera showed me quite clearly. Of course they have cameras. It is a good thing Kohaku-san realized it was you and turned off the alarm system, because otherwise you would probably be detained right now, Tonoshiki. Oh, I should thank Kohaku-san then. And Akiya, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have kept quiet about it. If you understand, then it is fine. Please make sure you observe your curfew from now on. I will overlook it this time. About that, Akiya. I'm gonna have to do that shit a few more times. What is it? This is a little hard to say. I have something to do tonight, too. Yeah, exactly. I don't know when I will be back, but I'm not going to do anything bad. Her gaze sharpens. Kohaku? She suddenly stands up. Kohaku-san comes in from the kitchen. Yes, what is it, my lady? I will be going to school. Get the preparations ready. Huh? But I have not yet made Shiki-san's breakfast. You can leave this person alone. It seems he can do everything by himself. Akiya strides towards the lobby. Kohaku-san sighs. Shiki-san, you should not make Akiya-sama so upset. You are her big brother, so please treat her better, okay? Saying that, she walks after Akiha. Teacup sits, still steaming. I know it's my own fault, but I won't have any breakfast today. But it is convenient in a way. It is now just 7 o'clock. If I run to school now, I should be able to get there around 7:30. I make it to the gate. Okay. I mean, again, Shiki's an honest guy, so he wasn't gonna lie and say, yeah, I won't do it again, and then just do it. Like, he knows he's gonna have to go again, so. Better that than straight up lying. It's about 7:30. I stand and wait for Senpai by the gate. It probably looks a little strange to the other students walking by, but I don't really care. Senpai doesn't show up. That was a long pause. The school gate is flooded with students as they arrive. But these pauses are making me nervous. There's only about 5 minutes before the gate closes. I guess it's to signify Shiki waiting. But Senpai still does not come. She might not come today. Yesterday I saw all that happen, so she might not come today or tomorrow or the day after. Thump. Thinking about that, I feel a little faint. I shake my head to clear it of terrible thoughts. And then someone pats me on the shoulder from behind. Tono-kun, what are you doing here? Senpai? Yes. Senpai nods. Really? But yesterday you were... Before I can finish, Senpai puts her hand over my mouth. Tono-kun, not here. Let's go behind the gymnasium. Oh god. Senpai gives her usual smile as she keeps her hand over my mouth and pulls my arm. I tried to tell her to stop, but I can't speak. She forcefully pulls me away. The school bell rings overhead. Homeroom has begun. Furthermore, no one else is around. Yes, no one can hear us here. Senpai finally releases me. Jumping back, I face Senpai directly. You want to talk about last night, right? If there's anything you want to say, please go ahead, Tono-kun. Senpai speaks calmly, as if what happened last night was not a big deal. But it was a big deal for me. Her attitude right now makes me mad. So that really was you last night? Yes. I did say your name back then too, so it's impossible to hide it any longer. I grit my teeth. I didn't expect an apology over anything, but still. But you said that wasn't you. What wasn't? 3 nights ago. I asked if you were the one that helped me that night in the park and you said it wasn't you. That was a lie. Well, yeah. Succinctly. Senpai simply says so. A lie, Senpai? You didn't keep the promise we made. You told me you wouldn't go out at night anymore. Ah, so I guess we both lied. She stares at me. I start to feel like the bad guy all of a sudden, feeling guilty about what I did. I made the promise with you so something like this wouldn't happen. Is that how little a promise with me means to you, Tono-kun? That makes me sad. No, that's not it. About last night, I thought Arcude was the one behind the serial killings, but that couldn't be right, so I went to ask her and... I tell her all about last night. Senpai listens to it all silently. How I met her accidentally, how she explained to me about the vampire in the city, and how I teamed up with her to save the city and everything up until now. I understand. So you teamed up with her to defeat the vampire in this city. Right, Tono-kun? Well, yeah, that's how it is. I can't believe it. Tono-kun, do you really believe in vampires? What are you saying, Senpai? Even you're one of the church's Senpai puts a finger on my lips. Don't worry about me. Isn't the problem more about you, Tono-kun? Me? I don't have any problems. You have no self-awareness, it seems. Senpai gives a troubled sigh. I have a question. Just how much did she tell you about? How much? Well, only that a vampire in the city sucking people's blood is in the city. So in other words, you don't know about her or this enemy she is after. Well, I haven't heard about it. I see. And I will tell you about it. Oh, please do. Wow, that's amazing. You know about that, Senpai? Well, you know I am a member of the church, so of course I know that much. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I kind of forgot. Haha. Doing the fuckboy laugh. I attempt to laugh it off. Jeez, sorry. I'm trying to be serious here, so please pay attention. I nod in assent. Huh? But isn't that a secret? Arcuede, she said you were all incredibly secretive. Yes, it really isn't something to talk about, but today is special. There isn't anyone watching over us or anything, so as long as you don't tell anyone, then it will be okay. What will happen if I tell someone else about you, senpai? Yes, I'll just do exactly what you are thinking of, Tono-kun. Kill us, got it. Senpai gives that frightening response with a smile. Well then, I'll keep it very simple. Tono-kun, how much was explained to you about vampires? Just about how there are two types, and how dead apostles are the vampires that suck human blood. But I think I know what kind of monsters they are. That's true. Tono-kun. You did actually defeat a vampire. Aha, but you did help me at the very end, senpai? Yes, I watched you annihilate Chaos. When I came, Chaos was already dying though. I'm surprised. Then senpai knows about my eyes? It was terrible. That woman made you do such a thing. She had a conceptual weapon to defeat Chaos, she should have used it herself. After seeing your bloody body, I thought I should punish her then and there. You too, Tono-kun. Even if you were given a weapon that can kill vampires, what were you thinking fighting that thing? Does she have a hold over your weakness or something? Still looking surprised, senpai complains aloud. Senpai? What's this weapon that can kill vampires? What do you mean? I'm talking about that knife you have, Tono-kun. Ah, see? The knife is special. Oh, I guess she wouldn't tell you about it. It's not good for her either. Let's see, vampires have the ability to recover from most injuries they receive. With ordinary outside force, I mean normal weapons. With such things, you cannot cause wounds greater than the speed of their recovery. To kill a vampire, you need an outside force greater than their speed of recovery, or something that nullifies their ability to recover. Okay, so I thought it was just the fact that Shiki was hit the ultimate point. But so it's possible for Shiki to kill and then to nullify that ability to recover. Well, I suppose that's kind of what happened to Arc, right? She's been recovering very slowly, right? So that fact is probably due to the weapon itself. This ability of theirs, the Curse of Restoration, actually isn't treating the wounds. Instead, it is a reversing of time to restore the damaged body part back to its original state. I'm sorry, what? Oh, Curse of Restoration. That reminds me of Herc. Yeah. And a cold artifact which nullifies this effect is called a Conceptual Weapon. Wait, so our dad gave... I say our. I'll always put myself in the protagonist's shoes, especially because it's like I and me and... But yeah, Shiki's dad gave him a Conceptual Weapon? Senpai cheerfully says all these things I can't understand too well. In short, a magical weapon. We usually lift their curse looking into their human past, so we do not usually use them. But for those that were not originally human, we use them kind of like a secret weapon. Your knife, is it not an anti-vampire weapon she brought? So Ciel assumes that Art gave it to us. Or is it a family treasure? But it would be strange for the Tono family to possess an anti-demon weapon. Yes, it would be strange, right? Again, there's a lot being covered up here, like it could be tied to the reason their dad died. It could be tied to the reason their mother died, like, because I assume that maybe she died. Wait, no, we're told she died when they were young, right? Not necessarily at that accident. Like younger than Shiki was back then. Yeah, there's a lot that we don't know. But again, I can't wait for the Far Side routes, because I'm gonna learn all these cool things, I'm sure. But yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. Why would the Tonos have this? We're clearly not a normal family. Senpai ponders aloud. I don't know what she's thinking, but it seems she has no idea about my eyes. Senpai? Where did our conversation about vampires go? Or it could be just forget everything I just said, and it's more about the mystic eyes of death perception hitting the ultimate point, and that's simply that, right? Because then I was, god damn it, because I was just thinking about why Ark has been recovering so slowly. But again, Shiki obliterated her, but yeah. But if she just doesn't know about the eyes, then forget everything I just said. With the start, Senpai stops mumbling to herself. She smiles as if to hide her embarrassment. As usual, her personality is hard to understand. Let's get back to the main subject. Please listen carefully, Tono-kun. Yes, please keep it short. Okay, so, yeah, never mind. She assumes it's a conceptual weapon because how else would she would have been able to kill him, right? Kill Chaos. But with the eyes, if you can see the concept, see the death of whatever you're looking at, then you can kill it. So, yeah, I don't know. I got a little excited there. I'm sorry. Seems you already know about how there are the true ancestors and the dead apostles. So it is very simple. The enemy she is after is a dead apostle nicknamed the Serpent. Why did I not think it was the Serpent who is the one who's actually here? Of course it's him. Among the dead apostles, he is considered a heretic, a special vampire. This vampire is not as strong as Chaos, whom you defeated, but he is more difficult an opponent to eliminate than this Chaos in a way. Since he comes back to life even after he dies. Oh. Senpai? Vampires are immortal, so isn't it natural for them to come back to life after dying? You eliminated Chaos, right? Even if they are vampires, if you destroy their body and soul, they will be vanquished. If you kill a vampire, they will die. But the Serpent is a vampire who has conquered even this. Tono-kun, are you familiar with the Cycle of Reincarnation? It is part of Buddhist doctrine, so I would think a Japanese would be quite familiar with it. Yeah, it's that thing where when someone dies, they are reborn again as another human. Yes, exactly. In other words, the vampire called the Serpent has made the Cycle of Reincarnation his own. That's what I mean when I say he comes back to life even after he is killed. Reincarnation? You mean if he dies, he will start over again as a baby? Yes. While the Serpent is alive, he chooses his next host, and when it is born, he transmits all the information of himself. That's crazy. Wow. The Serpent's information stays deep inside within the baby until it matures or until it gains sufficient intelligence. Wait, what? It's like a sleeper agent? That's crazy. As soon as that baby has the intelligence to succeed himself, the baby becomes a new vampire that is the Serpent. Wait a minute. What's that? Don't tell me that he does surgery on it while it's in the mother or something like that. No, it's not anything medical. Because the instant his body is destroyed, he reincarnates into the body he chose as his next host. I said all of his information earlier, but to say it simpler, think of it as his soul. It would be quite correct to say his soul propagates through the air and takes over someone's body, but it's similar to an electromagnetic wave. In this case, the human brain is what does the transmitting and the receiving. His exceptional point is that he took this soul, which is incalculable and something that disperses as soon as it leaves the envelope of the body, and processed it as something that could be transmitted. So this is interesting. Because we know like similar things, like we know how like Toko transfers her soul to different puppets. We know about the deterioration of the soul in terms of like Zoken. Yeah, it's cool that this is a concept that is, again, consistent within the works. I like the things that are connected within the Nasuverse. It's very cool. And I'm still learning so much. It's great. It's the universe that keeps on giving. Yes. But that is insane. That's actually insane. Like, of all the methods that I've seen in terms of like characters like prolonging their life, this is arguably the craziest. Her words don't seem quite real. I do understand what she is saying. The Serpent guy is reborn as a baby when he dies, and this baby turns into this Serpent vampire when he becomes an adult, but if I believe your story, it means that he will never die. It's not immortality, but it's worse than that. Being killed and reborn as someone else, that's like living forever. Yes, exactly. It was 800 years ago when the Serpent first became a dead apostle. Jeez. Since then, the Serpent has been reborn 17 times. Every time, Arc-3 Brunstead has killed him. That's amazing. Arc has killed him 17 times. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Arcueid did? So she's just been hunting him forever. Wow. Yes. To her, the serpent is a special vampire. Well, the serpent has a special meaning to me as well. Huh. Does he? Well, because I know the serpent was a priest, right? In the Holy Church. But even if he dies, he will just be reborn, right? So killing him over and over is pointless, isn't it? Yes. He is killed by her, reincarnates, and is killed by her again. That cycle has repeated itself over and over. If Arcueid had the power to kill not the body, but the meaning, this would probably not be happening. Could Shiki do such a thing? Senpai looks down a little and she seems to be gritting her teeth. I don't know why. However, it seems that Senpai also has some grudge against the enemy like Arcueid does. Because yeah, Shiki could technically kill his soul, right? Like, you know? Vampire that is reborn every time it is killed. That's Arcueid's and Senpai's enemy. Senpai. This serpent guy, what kind of a guy is he? He was originally a man, but that can change depending on the body he reincarnates into. Again, so yeah, he could be a woman too. The troublesome part of this dead apostle is that they are all hard to find. Because he is properly born as a human baby and has parents. The serpent transforms into a vampire only when he reaches the age where he can do everything at a satisfactory level. Until then, that human shows no hint of being a vampire. But once the serpent awakens, he uses the relationships he gained until that time to blend perfectly into society. I heard that the church detects the serpent's presence usually after a whole town is turned into the dead. That's fucked. I see. For example, if the serpent guy were reincarnated in me, he would live as Tonoshiki even after he becomes the serpent. Unless he makes a big mistake, he would be free to suck blood without people realizing it. That is scary. Of course those around him are in danger too. But that human who reincarnated into, he would just disappear after maturing, right? One moment that person is living normally, and the next moment he suddenly turns into the serpent. I swear, if the serpent turns out to be one, because again, I've been having this thought, like, I always have this thought, like, what if the villain is actually someone we know? Like, this is kind of a thing I wonder in things I watch sometimes, like, I wonder if we've already met this person, right? Learning this now, listen, we know so many, like, people who are coming of age in this visual novel. Like, we go to a high school. We know, like all the people we know, like Arihiko, like... The serpent could literally be anyone we know. It could be Akiya, it could be Isui, Kohaku, like it could be... What the hell? Well, jeez, man. Now I'm really paranoid. That's very frightening. Yes, but it isn't like two people sharing one body. The human baby is still the serpent. Depending on its environment, it's either a good or a bad person. But even that disappears the instant the serpent awakens. To sum it up, once the serpent dies, he is reborn into the next body, and once that body gains intelligence, it gains the previous life's self and becomes a vampire. That's strange. Even if he did reincarnate, that baby is still human. So even if it does gain the self of a previous life, the body shouldn't turn into a vampire, right? Reincarnation isn't the transmitting of personality, it is the transmission of a soul. So the personality differs every time depending on their families and upbringings. But the soul itself does not change. Once bitten by a true ancestor, not only is the body forever soiled, but the soul as well. Huh. Well, there you go. Because again, I know from playing Fate Stay Night, the soul is what you are. And you know, that's like a belief within certain like beliefs as well. But you know, yeah. So it wouldn't matter that it's just another human that is him, in essence, in the soul, and corrupted by becoming a vampire. The serpent transmits all his information called his soul, so when the serpent awakens, the body becomes one of a vampire, but... Yeah, but... As you said, just that is too weak. So he selects his next host while he is alive. The family he is born into must meet two conditions, the first being one of wealth. I'm sorry, excuse me. Excuse me. I I swear if it's Akiha. I swear, or if it's Shiki. I swear. I swear. If it's Shiki or Akiha. I'm gonna fucking lose it, dude. Being born into a family of high social standing, property, and money makes it easier to make the whole town into vampires later on. Shit. The more I think, I keep thinking it could be Akiha. And there is another. This is the most important one, but amongst normal people like us, there are also people that carry special powers. Not like magic, which is a mystic power that can be learned, but rather special abilities from birth. Such people are normally called demonic children or psychics. These special abilities are genetic, so they are inherited, passed on by blood. He chooses those families that have something not human in their lineages. A family with wealth and influence and inhuman power. Dude, I swear to goodness. A family with wealth. Like, dude, a family with wealth. Dude. And one with a something not human. Dude, Shiki's mystic eyes. Like, come on. There's something up with the Tono family for him to manifest those eyes. Like, for Ryogi, like, we saw the whole deal with them, but... Because with the Ryogis, it was the whole, like, split personality thing, and it was like... But, oh, man. The serpent vampire, he seems to be quite prepared. Also, don't you dare tell me anything. None of you tell me anything. Yes, since he is a serpent, he also has... He has a very slithering intellect. Ha ha ha. There's something about this story I don't like. Tono-kun? That was just a joke, but are you listening? Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. Eh? Yeah, it wasn't very funny. Senpai goes quiet. But I really don't feel like laughing right now. Why do I suddenly feel so down? Cause you're thinking what I'm thinking, bro. But I understand now. That's our enemy, right, Senpai? Also, making her sad makes you sad. Is probably what actually happened, but yes. No. Arcueid Brunstad's my enemy. There's no need for you to worry about the serpent, Tono-kun. So please don't go with Arcueid any longer. Either I or that woman will destroy him. There's no need for you to face any danger. Oh no, I misread. Arcueid Brunstad's and my enemy, so right. The enemy in common between them. Right. That's why they were gonna exchange information. I forgot. Danger, look, isn't just living in the city dangerous enough? Even Arcueid is fighting to protect this city. So I can't overlook this either. No, she isn't thinking about this city. She is only after the serpent for her own reasons. Tono-kun, the dead apostles were once human. There are two ways for them to become vampires. Either way, they would have their blood sucked by the true ancestors who were originally born as vampires, or they changed their own bodies through their magical research in their quest for immortality. So yeah. Oh, it's weird that I only thought of it just now. Maybe I mentioned it back then, but not really. And I already mentioned this earlier, but I don't know why I thought like... Cause yeah, Zoken doesn't qualify as dead apostle. He has like some similarities, but doesn't qualify as that. But yeah, with Carrie's dad, that is absolutely in terms of dead apostle through magic, right? But I'm wondering, is Ciel about to say that? Because remember, we saw in the scene with the flashback, the serpent was talking, and he mentioned that he was gonna rise, to the top of vampires, like he did, I guess, as he did as a man within the church. Because I'm pretty sure they said he was a priest. That he needed to get his blood sucked by a true ancestor. So, is Ark the reason that he's so powerful now? Because again, like he said, to get that power, he needed his blood sucked by a true ancestor. So maybe this is all her fault. The serpent had his blood sucked by a true ancestor to become a dead apostle. Do you understand? The serpent was the victim of the true ancestors, a race beyond ours. Senpai stares at me. Those emotionless eyes tell me what she is going to say next. Don't tell me that true ancestor was, yup. Arcueid Brunstad. The royalty of the true ancestors who made her only mistake 800 years ago. Ah, there you go. She is the one who made the serpent. Wow. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. From the very beginning, the true ancestors were in existence far separated from ours. The dead apostles certainly are vampires that wield immense ability, but that ability is only an extension of human capacity. Because they have managed to attain a long life, they are able to develop their abilities and manage to refine it to those super abilities as a result. Okay. In other words, anyone can develop abilities equal to the vampires if they have a long time. Yeah, I think I've read that somewhere. They say immortality, but being a vampire isn't something that great. Yeah, that's like a classic thing. The true ancestors are different. From the moment they are born, they possess power beyond human comprehension. From the beginning, these true ancestors are in existence closer to the world than humans. Really? We humans have flourished this much by isolating ourselves from nature. While we receive blessings from nature, we steal from it, and even if nature is destroyed, we will not be destroyed. Well, yikes. Yeah, we won't get into that. We became the most superior race on this planet probably because of this one sin only we humans carry. But that is true though. We can no longer be a part of nature. In its place, we have gained ways to even destroy nature, this whole planet. Yep, exactly. However, from the nature's perspective, this is evil. The world itself is a form of life, so it has the will to protect itself from us. But it does not have senses, so it creates a presence separated from nature like us to remonstrate us. Senpai is weird. Nature doesn't have a will of its own. This is a Nasu-verse, bro. Like, shout out to Alaya, but yeah. Is it Ayala or Alaya? Damn it, I mixed that up. Yeah, I can't, but can it be that we just can't feel it? Nature, the earth, possesses a will. Pretty sure it's Ayala. That is why it still exists and tries to stay beautiful. The problem isn't that we can't feel it. It's that the standard of what nature thinks is beautiful and the standard of what humans believe is beautiful are the same. An existence which the world created to sense for it. These are what we usually call spirits. They are a transcendental species existing on another plane different from the remaining spirits of animals in the present world. The true ancestors are one of type of these spirits, really? Huh. They are born with the purpose to punish humans, so they only see humans as evil. That's their purpose? Much as we think vampires who prey upon humans are evil, they view humans who prey upon nature as evil. Huh. So that's crazy. An existence which the world created to sense for it. Huh. That's crazy. But that's funny. And why can't they exist unless they feed on us humans, the evil existence? That is funny. Humans are only enemies to the true ancestors. As part of nature, no, as those whose power is linked to nature itself, their power has no limits. In the long history of the church, there are only a few records of fighting against the true ancestors. They get their powers from the world itself. Therefore, in order to kill them, a conceptual weapon with the power to kill the world is needed. Of course, such a weapon does not exist, so that means their death cannot be caused by external factors. That night, she said in that hotel that if I had tried to kill her during nighttime, those eyes would not have been able to see her death. In other words, it means she cannot die. You understand, Tono-kun? Arcueid Brunstead is pursuing the serpent in order to recover her power he took away from her. Ah. It's not for the sake of any humans. I don't know why she is weakened now, but if she regains her power, she will not need your help, Tono-kun. When that happens, do you think she will let you leave safely? Of course she would, because she doesn't have any reason to hurt me. She is a vampire. She isn't like the dead apostles who suck blood in order to prolong their own life. Look, Tono-kun, if the true ancestors didn't suck human blood, vampires would never exist in the first place. They can survive without sucking human blood, but they still do suck blood because they have the urge to do so and make humans into an existence outside of human nature. I can't let some ordinary person like you be with her. But if Ark wasn't lying about never feasting on a human, then... But again, actually that was a lie because we just learned that she sucked his blood, the serpent's blood. But I think that might have been the only human she's ever sucked the blood from. Because again, like, he was able, in sucking his blood, he was able to become a dead apostle with her blood, which is like from an like a OG true ancestor. Like, it's not, you know, crazy. Senpai's talk ends like that. It might be because of my dizziness, but it seems like everything she's talking about is totally unrelated to me. Tono-kun, does that show you how dangerous she is? Yeah, well, I get the gist. But please don't cooperate with her anymore, okay? I can't do that. I can't consent to what Senpai is saying. Because Senpai doesn't know Arcue. She doesn't know how good of a person she is. Tono-kun, Senpai groans. But even if she makes that face, I can't lie to myself. Sorry, Senpai. I also have my reasons, so I want to help her. It's true that I don't know what she'll do if I turn against her. But it's also true that I just can't leave her alone. Please don't say stupid things. Kono-kun, you're just a normal boy, so you shouldn't do such dangerous things. Yeah, I'm grateful for your concern. There are some things that I want to protect if I can, such as this city and my peaceful time with you at school, Senpai. Even though you ended up protecting me. Oh, but it is just too dangerous. You were nearly dead when you fought with Chaos. Isn't that alright? Besides, if Arcue is really that strong, shouldn't defeating this serpent vampire be simple? I'm telling you that she is the dangerous one. Please open your eyes already. She isn't human. You don't know when she'll suck blood. She is more of a monster than the dead apostles. What? I know that Senpai is really worried about me, but I can't allow those words. Just stop, Senpai. She isn't a monster. You shouldn't say those things when you haven't even talked to her. That is true. She is a vampire. Please understand that. No, that's wrong. Look, Senpai, Arcue doesn't suck blood. She told me herself, and I don't think she's lying. I don't know how these other true ancestors are, but Arcue is different. Just her, she is definitely... Definitely what? Look, even if she isn't dangerous, it's dangerous enough for you to fight. You can't recover from injuries like she can. If you get wounded, you will die. But I can't forgive if she knows this and still lets you fight. It's like she's just seeing you as a tool, Tono-kun. Senpai screams this last part. I know. I understand she is right. But because I understand, her voice annoys me. Shut up. Tono-kun? Just shut up, Senpai. Arcue doesn't see me as a tool at all. You don't know anything about her. You just think she's some sort of monster, so you have no right to say any of that. Please calm down. I know I don't know very much about her, but there is a possibility that she could be deceiving you. Shut up. Aren't you the one deceiving me? Ah. Oh crap. Why did I say that terrible thing? Senpai, I said too much, but I can't say it. Her expression looks very fragile, and it looks like it's going to break down the moment I say something. You're right, you know. You're right now that you mention it. Senpai? Yes, that's right. I have been deceiving you, Tono-kun. So there's no reason for you to believe me. She suddenly smiles as if her previous expression never existed. That smile says it all, man. Oh dear. There's no trace of it being faked. Even though it has to be fake. I can't see anything but a true smile. I apologize for taking your time. Then I'll just disappear now. Oh no. Eh? The wind rushes by. In that very instant, Ciel Senpai disappears from right before my eyes. Dude, Ciel is crazy. Very fast. But she said disappear. So that means she's not gonna be here for school. Damn. Oh, man. Oh, Shiki, you fucked up, man. But yo, we learned so much there, dude. I don't even know if I can properly recap all of that, but... Yeah, first off, we learned about the serpent. You know, he's the vampire that Arc is hunting. Of course, he's been hunting him for 800 years. Killed him 17 times in an effort to, I guess, reclaim the power that he took from her. Arc also mentioned that, you know, that the reason she hunts vampires is because she has nothing else to do. Now, it could be she didn't say everything that she wanted to, like Ciel said, but those are the two pieces of information I have as far as, you know, why in the first place she agreed to suck his blood. You know, that's a thing to think about as well. Because again, it could be the serpent just set up a situation where she just gave in and did it, and then that went into his plan. Because clearly the serpent guy is very, like she said, slithery, like Ciel joked. He's very clever. He's developed a method of reincarnation where he can transfer his soul in like an electromagnetic sense to the next vessel that he targets when he's alive, and then is reborn into, and then reawakens when that human is able to, or when he is able to, I guess, do enough on his own, I suppose. So I guess into adulthood, I suppose. Again, very concerning. He chooses a family of wealth and one that has inhuman characteristics. So it could be, you know, a mage family. It could be anyone, man. It could be Shiki, dude. It could be Akiha, like, because again, the Tonos are very clearly like connected, and especially because Ark mentioned 8 years ago when was the last time he was awakened, right? And we have that flashback from the very beginning of the visual novel of like someone, I assume Shiki, seeing the death and I guess caused by a vampire, right? Back then, that was the accident. Because yeah, I straight up confirmed it 8 years ago. So it's very likely that it's one of the people in the Tono household. It's either Shiki or Akiha. But the question is, no, because Ciel said it's not as if there's two people. It's the serpent soul. So you can't like kill the serpent within that person. It is him the whole time, or her if he chooses a girl. Because again, they mentioned that fact. Oh, I swear if it's Akiha. I swear if it's Akiha. Oh my goodness. Oh jeez, man. I'm so concerned. But that's so cool to learn. That was so cool. Definitely the craziest method of extending life and immortality, essentially, that I've seen. Again, it's an imperfect sense of immortality, but but also it's probably like the closest you can get, because like creating what is essentially reincarnation, like that method, that's insane. Wow. I don't know if they mentioned it, but I don't know how you because the soul deteriorates as well, right? Because I know that happens, like in its like corruption and being tainted, like, and just naturally, wouldn't it naturally erode or corrupt or deteriorate? You can explain that to me if you want, but or not, if that's something that that it hasn't been revealed yet. But yeah, also apologize earlier for going on a tangent about, you know, the knife being special. I mean, it might be. We just don't know anything about it. It was left by Tono's, by Shiki's dad, to him. And especially if his dad knows his ability, then that's interesting as well. But yeah, if Ciel doesn't know about the eyes, which why would she? She did identify, however, earlier that he doesn't wear the glasses for his vision. So I don't know, maybe she would put two and two together. But then again, I don't think Mystic Eye killer glasses are that common. Yeah, and let alone the Mystic Eyes of Death perception. Like, those are definitely not common at all. Probably the rarest Mystic Eyes there is. Yeah. Yeah, excuse me for going on that tangent. Whether it's true or not, who knows? Like, I'm sure I'll find out either way, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, I'm just getting very excited about all the information I'm getting, man. There's a lot more to get into and to talk, but again, I'll kind of reflect on this as I'll probably rewatch some of this VOD and try and memorize things a little bit more. I like going over information because taking all this in the first time, I can't help but just be in awe of everything. So, yeah, learning about the dead. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. So, that's all I got to say for now. Let me save this. There we go. And that's all I'm going to do for now, man. So, once again, or just in general, thank you so much for watching this Let's Play with me. I'm having a fantastic time, if you cannot tell. And I will see you in the next part. Peace.